All right, folks, I'm sure a lot of you have had this problem, right? You got your Phantom powered up, ready to go. You got your transmitter all ready to go. You got your tablet set up. Everything's turned on, and you can't see a darn thing on here. I mean, it is literally impossible to see where you're flying, especially when you get flying quite a ways away and you can't see the screen. I tend to get paranoid a little bit. It's almost as if they they should invent something like a shade for the sun or something like that.
Okay, so let's get right into it. This is what I received in the mail the other day, all the way from China. I bought it from a place called TVC Mall. TVC-mall.com, I believe, is their website. They don't sell a ton of stuff for the Phantoms, but I thought this was definitely something that I wanted to try out. This is the 9.7-inch tablet Sunhood or Sunshade, whatever you want to call it, for DJI Inspires or Phantoms Advanced or Professional model. But let's break it open and take a look and see what we got. It was pretty affordable off the website. I think I spent like, what was it, under $6, and then like another $4 for shipping, and $10. I figured, well, that's kind of a pretty un pretty good price to take a risk on seeing if this will solve my glare problems. Well, now that I have it here unfolded in front of me, I can tell that it's actually higher quality than I thought it was going to be. Um, I was a bit worried when I saw it on the website. I thought that it was just going to be cardboard, and it's not. It's I mean, frankly, I don't know what it is, because on the inside, this is all very, very soft. This is like almost like felt, which is great because this is not going to be scratching up my tablet at all. Velcro lined in here to attach, no doubt, to these fins right here, which has the bristly part of the Velcro. Um, Suction cups here to hold on to the back of your tablet. That's what's going to secure it to the sunshade. And on this other side, this is actually not just like smooth white cardboard. This is actually has a faux leather texture to it. And I don't know if that's coming through on the camera or not, but it's actually pretty nice. Looks like they have stitching lines that go all the way around the edge of the, I think, of the entire hood itself. Yeah, it does look like they're completely stitched all the way around. Each one of the Velcro um, tabs there is completely stitched around as well. And you can see on the back how they have the suction cups stitched all the way around the outside and then across on the inside to securely hold that on there. One of the things that I do know is that, contrary to how you may be operating now with your transmitter, your tablet is no longer held in by the clamp, the display clamp on the transmitter itself. Instead, the clamp holds the sunshade, and then your tablet is basically free floating in there, attached onto these little suckers onto the suction cup. So if you have a tablet such as mine, I have a Samsung, what is this, the E model, the Galaxy E model. On the back is this kind of texture, which is probably not going to work on these things. If I put it down there and I push down, yeah, it doesn't work at all. It just comes right off. Now, if I put it on the glass end, oh yeah, that works quite well. I actually got to break it off of there because it sucks on there so good. So I may be in a different situation here where I'll probably have to put on some kind of case that has a smooth back, or maybe I can just put some, clear tape might be enough. And lastly, if you have a similar tablet, you may have to put in some Velcro of your own, and then come back to your sunshade and maybe put a couple strips of Velcro here to hold it on there, because that is definitely something to consider. Um, Another thing to consider is if you have a 9 and a 7-inch tablet, such as mine, well, I mean, the display is 9.7. The actual tablet width, you're going to have to measure and make sure it fits in there, because if you need to get a case, there is not much breathing room in this sunshade. Um, not extra room, which you would need to be able to fit your tablet and your case in there. Something to consider. Okay, well, let's just see how easy this thing goes together. I believe all it's going to take is just folding this up and lining up the Velcro like so. Let's give that a solid push down. Do the same thing over here. And just like that. Give that a solid push down. Just like that. Well, that's pretty easy, right? Pretty easy. Over here on the side, we got our little port for our transmitter cable, which will run out to the transmitter and through this little hole to our tablet. I'm just trying to figure out, I can see some of the little material is separating right there, and I don't know if you can see that if I hold it up to the camera. Right here, it's starting to separate, and I can see inside of there, and it does look like it's some kind of multi-layered board. It's going to be some kind of cardboard, I think, that has this fabric over the top of it. But that's actually not that big of a deal. I mean, for all I care, you could cut this little tab off, because we don't care about it, right? What's it there for anyways? What else? Well, here we have another big tab, and that is for the top part of the display clamp on the transmitter. That needs to stick through there. And then this actually sits down on the bottom part of that display clamp. So let's get the transmitter and see if we can mount this thing on there and just see how stable it is and how sturdy it is. So let's just set that right there. We got our tablet off to the side, and let me reach over here and get the Phantom remote. Okay, so there's our transmitter. First thing that I can notice looking at this is that we're going to need to extend this probably all the way up. I mean, look at the size of this thing in comparison. Okay, so if the bottom of the display clamp is going to be going into this groove, we're going to have to extend this clear all the way up to here. So let's get this thing going, and I'm going to give it some help here, pulling it up. Okay, that is as tall as it will go. And it looks like even that is going to be kind of a tight fit. So let's get it on there. I will start with, well, I think we best start with the top, right? So let's tip this down here. Let's get rid of these little antennas. And I'm going to try to fit this right in there. Looks like I'm going to have to depress the foam a little bit because it's a tight fit. I'm actually squishing down the foam on the top of the clamp so I can slide this in there. And there, just popped in. As soon as I did that, it popped in. And now you'll notice that it's in on the top, but it's still not in on the bottom. And you can see, I mean, this thing is maxed out as far as how tall it will go, the display clamp, and it's still not big enough for this to just to fall into place. So we're going to actually have to probably depress the foam here on the bottom to get this thing, yep. There, it's over one, there, it's over two. To get that in, and now we're just going to kind of push it down, but there you go. The sunshade is on. How stable is it? because it's actually pretty good. Pretty good. I mean, this is still a little bit pliable, but that's fine. I mean, as far as blocking the sun, it's going to do the trick, and I don't think you'd want it any heavier, to be completely honest with you. I mean, if it was solid plastic or something like that, it actually would probably add substantial weight to the remote. As it is right now, it's pretty light, but yet still rigid enough to get the job done. Well, I like that. Okay, so I guess what's the next step? Next step is probably to get our cable, transmitter cable, and to fish that through the line. So here we go. We have our cable. Why don't I get the bottom in there? Does it go this way? No, I always guess the wrong way. Every time without fail. There we go. Okay, so the hole is on this side. So let's go ahead and fish that through the hole there. There we go. So now it's on the inside. I'm kind of pulling my tablecloth here. And now the trick is going to be to get this tablet in place. Now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to mount my tablet backwards because it has that you know, the glass is going to adhere to the suction cups much better because the back doesn't even adhere at all. So that's a problem I'm going to have to fix down the road. But for right now, let's just pretend that I have a smooth back on my tablet, and we'll see how well this mounts in there. So I got my cable in there. I'm going to actually have to push the part of the connector back out through the hole because this is just such an exact fit on there. Okay, well, I think that's it. I mean, it is on there pretty sturdy. I mean, if I'm operating this, I mean, I think that's going to do the trick. And just bear in mind that your tablet is not being clamped in there like it was before without the sunshade. It's actually being held in purely by those little suckers on the sunshade itself. And the sunshade is what's being clamped in there on the display clamp. Okay, and I don't even really think it's being clamped in there because that thing was as wide open as it could possibly get. It's almost like it's just kind of stretched. If I try to push down on this clamp, oh, I got one click. I got one click on it, and that's it. So it is full extended except for one click. So there you have it, folks. Let's see how easy it breaks down. I think the first step is probably just going to be to pull out this cable on the side, just like that. Next step is probably going to be to get your tablet out of there, I would imagine. But you know what? If it is stuck on there as hard as I think it is, well, not too bad. Not too bad. I left little circles all over my glass though, but it's nice knowing that it is stuck on there that good and it's not going to go anywhere. Next step is probably just to pop it off the bottom of the clamp here, but I did tighten it down one click, so let's just loosen that back up. Comes right off there, and then off the top, probably going to have to push this foam down so you can get it out of the hole. There we go. And as far as breaking this down, it's probably just as easy as sliding my finger down this Velcro on one side and on the other. And then this flips that way, just like that. And there you have it, folks. And this is as thin as could possibly be. So I don't know if you have a case for your Phantom or your Inspire, but I would imagine that if you don't, you're probably looking into getting one. This will probably fit right in there. And I'll show you what I was planning on doing. And we'll see if we can get all this stuff to fit in there. So let me move this just aside and move this aside. And I'll grab my case. Okay, so here's my Phantom case. The remote, as you can guess, come on antennas, it's going to fold down. It drops right in here. Go in there. What am I doing wrong? There we go. That clips in. So originally, when I was looking at my case, I'm thinking, where am I going to put this sunshade? I do have a small cutout right here that I'm not using, but I didn't think that that was going to be enough room. So I started messing around here, and I noticed that this, the top piece of the case, comes right out. So I thought, well, heck, I bet you I could probably just drop this right in there. So I'm going to test that right now and see if it works. This doesn't push down all the way, obviously, but I think what I'm going to be able to do, let me bring this back over. I'm going to be able to, oh, it's still, it's perfect. Absolutely perfect. Well, there we go. Just like that, sunshade in the case, and there you have it, folks. Again, that is the 9.7 inch Sunhood, and I purchased that for less than $6 at tvc-mall.com. I'll put the link in the video, okay? But there you have it. Hope you enjoyed the review. Feel free to subscribe if you'd like to. I'm going to try to fill this channel with all types of Phantom related videos. I will catch you later. Fly safe. Bye-bye now.